what we've really come to understand is it's the hand action that actually drives.
If you have good hands, you know what to do with your hands. So much works back into the body, and the golfer they're empowered when they know how to use their hands properly. Gentlemen?
Yet, it's so simple, yet so many people are confused when they want to transition between backswing and downswing. Because the importance of making the ball go to the flag or the middle of the fairway, a lot of us get caught up with trying to make the club head go down the same line. Now, because the golf swing is on this circular incline wheel, it's not like we'd play cricket. We're not down the wicket. I quite often get cricketers over this way where they're trying to play golf, and they really have a hard time when they try to play the cricket stroke. Once you give them more, it's more a tennis stroke on an incline. So let me get this racket up. So the golf swing, the two-target game, the same as in tennis. If the racket's here, you don't try to go down the line. If you're going to hit it down the sideline, you don't want to come around this way. You want to keep going, and the body turn will help square the club face through the impact. But your downswing cannot go out here too soon. The discovery that we had was that there is a special alignment, and I've got the this extra stick here, the alignment rod going out the end. So when we get to the top of the backswing, what we need to train in is for the hands to uncock. We call it thumbs down uncocking. And if they work this way, not this way, and definitely not this way either, but if they work down in line with so the club shaft moves in line with that lead arm, when you add speed to that, I better be a little careful here. So when I go with speed and I throw in that direction, as I throw down and out, what happens is the body turn triggers in and brings us around and up. So while your attention and intention is to throw the club head down and out into the golf ball and compress it into the ground, as you do that, the natural release of the body in response to this hand action brings us around. So the follow through side is definitely around here, but it's triggered by the downswing being a two-target game, making it go down and out towards the ball.
You can see here I have one of my son's old hockey sticks here, and I like using these because with students it's really easy for them to get their hands on. And I saw a question pop about the under over drill, which is a drill we use with one of my products called the Educator. And the Educator, it's a situation where we feel, at address to the person that asked the question, at address, the lead wrist is bent back a little bit. When you have a nice grip and you have mid-body hands and you take the address, when we go back to this point at the top of pushing, the lead wrist tends to flatten. Well, what that does is it takes where the educator is to that person that's the question, and while you create some angle between the shaft, in this case this hockey stick, and your lead arm, that presents an opportunity for that educator to get on the other side of the arms. So the educator, or understanding how to educate your hands, it's called the Educator for the same reason it's about educating your hands, and that address hand location and how we develop a structured backswing, we get into what we call an impact condition. Well, what we're talking about here is address developed into kind of impact, and then as we get the dynamics of the club head working away from us, now we're uncocking in the plane of the left arm, not going to the target, and certainly not laying down too much where the face opens up, but we're uncocking in the plane of the left arm. And when we do that, our body wants to respond and helps rotate and square onto the ball, and we've got some control over the face. All too often, people go to the top in search of swing length, pull down, and then they don't have any control over the face. And then the last milliseconds of response to the ball is some stand up in a Hail Mary, if you will, just an attempt to get the club on the ball. And that's why golf balls go all over the yard. They don't tend to go, generally where you want them to. So jumped in there based on that question I saw there, Chris.
Yeah, I've got a couple of other questions we might answer as well here.
Sure.
Okay, the first one here is, can you explain the process of pushing from the transition to impact, please, from Paul?
Yeah, I jump on that too. So I'll give an example. So that young professional guy, doctor, 40-year-old, came to the golf school, very fit, very fast, 110 miles an hour on TrackMan, hit down on the driver. He only flew the driver like 230 yards. He hit a lot of fat shots. He didn't flight his irons high enough. So I don't swing the driver that fast, but I hit it way farther than him. So I swing the driver 105, 107. He hits it. He swings it faster than me. So here's the thing. What we did with him was we said, hey, we've got to get you away from all this pulling, away from all this what we call handle dragging and pulling the handle, which was the feel of what he thought he saw. He sees in the magazines all this thing called lag, well, which looks like a pull. Once we showed him how to push, he still saw a tremendous amount of lag, but now the golf club got in a better spot for delivery. The ball went higher, and then he started hitting it farther than me, and he's not welcome back at any more of my golf schools. So he did amazingly well pretty quickly just by feeling uncocking in the plane of the lead arm. And he couldn't believe me because he thought, oh, I can't do that. That's casting. And I said, no, casting is impossible. I said, what you see as a cast is uncocking over. And then when it gets delivered, you have this angle between the lead arm that's crumpled up and this, added loft in your lead hand. But when you're uncocking the plane of the lead arm, rotation happens and you get a nice long look, what they call the line of compression with the lead arm and the club. And that's when you'll hit it your best based on your physicality. In this case, this guy was faster than me. He hit it farther than me once we organized him a little bit.
Fantastic. Now, I've got my bicycle flag here, which really highlights what is the cause of that lag, and it also highlights how the hands should transition from backswing to downswing. So, if I may, I'll use this flag just to highlight what a lag is a product of. So when I go slowly, there's no lag. If I'm going on the same direction, I'm going A to B, throwing at the ball. Okay. Now I just add a little speed. Just watch what happens to the flag end. Just a little speed. Now I'll add a little bit more speed. And I'll go just a little bit faster. Now, if you slow motion that down, what you would see would be all this tremendous lag and bending and stressing in this bicycle flag. And it's basically the product of the correct hand action in the downswing throwing. If you throw it, what you said, Martin, if you throw it out over the top, invariably you get casting, you get throwaway, and oops, nearly broke one of my clubs. Okay, so, and I swung over the top. But as soon as I go out here, that I lose that ability to get that angle. The more I go out towards the camera, the more the late hit is loaded. And that's where you get someone like Sergio Garcia or Matthew Wolf. They really get it way inside, and they bring it in, and it squares up and gets structure through there, which brings everything down the target line. If I just show it from this angle, not going to hit anything much. So the direction of hit is the cause of the lag, providing you're using your hands correctly to uncock and push the club head down towards the ball with your hands. So,
so Peter, just so viewers know, like, how old are you, buddy?
Oh, blimey, I'm nearly. The truth is, I'm one under par. I'm one under 72.
Is that a par 72 or a par 70?
Par 72.
There you go. So for the viewers,
what we've really come to understand is it's the hand action that actually drives.
If you have good hands, you know what to do with your hands. So much works back into the body, and the golfer they're empowered when they know how to use their hands properly. Gentlemen, great to be with you. Peter, it's a pleasure, pal. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Thanks, Martin. And it will be great to be here. Just a little mention there. Martin has probably the #1 golf school in Arizona. There are a lot of golf schools there, but you've had the
been rated number one. So that's
thank
nice.
you.
Nice to be in your school today. Okay.